Hey guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the Conico solar powered outdoor security camera. 15,000 milliamp hour battery built inside of this thing. It comes with a solar panel, two antennas on it, 2.4 gigahertz. What else am I missing? 360-degree movement. It's limited on the up and down, but it'll turn all the way around on the bottom there. The camera will. IP65 waterproof rating, motion detection, night vision, all for a super low price. And I'm pretty surprised at how well the app is done, laid out and stuff like that. Like I thought, oh, okay, this thing's going to be like one of these generic apps that's kind of built in to some of these cameras and be sluggish and all that kind of stuff. But the app reminded me a lot of some mainstream stuff. So it was a really good deal. I think it's a really good deal, but let's talk about it. I'll show it off and we'll look at the app and also the camera footage. Just know that it comes with everything that you need. Here's the box. So it's not that big of a unit and it's packed in this little tiny box here, considering how it looks and what you think it might be. It's a nice small unit that's a little workhorse. I was kind of surprised by that. Let's look at some specs, shall we? Like I said earlier, solar panel is included. You can get it when it's not, but it's included on this one. 15,000 milliamp hour rechargeable battery built inside of it. Now the solar panel, you want to mount somewhere above it. I have it mounted luckily to a fence, and I kind of have it at an angle, the solar panel up above it, to help shed some water off of it, because it says that you don't really want to necessarily put it out in the elements, just out by itself, to be just bombarded with water and rain and stuff like that and soaked for a day or two of rain straight. You kind of want to put it under your eave, your overhang, or put something over the top of it to help shed some liquid off, and that's kind of what I did with the solar panel. Now I used zip ties to mount this thing to a fence, and I kind of recommend that way because you can put this thing off your property. I'm probably like 100 feet away from the router, maybe a little over 100 feet, and it picks up just fine. I don't have any issues. It says what the health is, so make sure to try that out before you actually mount it, like carry it wherever you're going to put it. And on the app, it'll show you the health of the Wi-Fi distance and stuff like that, which is cool to give you a good idea where you need to go. But the mounting process is pretty easy. There's a plate, a separate plate on the back. You go ahead and mount that thing down, and then you put the camera over that, and there's 4 little screws with some thumb grips on there to tighten that down. One thing to note is wherever you put this, it can be taken down by anyone, and all they have to do is undo those 4 screws and just take it out. So there's not really a super secure manner of putting this on to where it's not tamper proof. So just kind of know that. For me, this isn't really incorporated into my main security system. This is just something I can have off the back of the property as an addition to my security system to kind of look and watch the house if I'm on vacation, if I'm away, or whatever the deal is. And I want to see the house as a whole away from the home, which I can't do in my current security system because it's hardwired in. This is a fantastic option for that. But the setup is super simple. Even the little solar panel has a articulating head on it, and I think it's 3 screws for that, which comes with it, that you can mount that however you want and articulate that, and it really holds its place pretty good. And I looked up and had it. It's got a good lip on the arm of it that you can just run a zip tie around real tight. It'll keep it perfect position, perfect lean-to over the camera for me. So my setup on a fence has been perfect. I would recommend just doing that. Go to Lowe's like I did and get some pretty decent, hefty, industrial type strength zip ties, and that'll work forever. Now that we kind of really quickly talked about how to hook up and mount the camera to the fence, let's talk about the app and getting it connected up to the app. You're going to want to download Cloud Edge. So once you download that, it's pretty simple. It uses a QR code for the camera to scan off the app, and there's a reset button on the camera itself under one of the flaps. You just reset it from there, and then you follow the setup procedure in the app, and then the camera will see the QR code. You sign into your Wi-Fi, boom, you're done. Your 2.4 gigahertz hooked up, you're good to go. So after your initial setup, when you go into the Cloud Edge app, it's quickly like boom, like that. And if I want to see a live stream, I just click it. Boom. Look how quick I was in there. On these kind of, non-mainstream type security cameras I've reviewed plenty of in the past, this has been the best experience on the app And that's really what you want, is you want something that's not going to be a hassle to use. You get good notifications off of, and the settings are good and clear. Everything's clear on what you're doing with this thing, which is fantastic because I believe anybody can operate it once you get it hooked up, and there's nothing to be worried about or scared of. You can see here on the app, Wi-Fi is 77%. That's over 100 feet away through 2 walls, one being an outdoor wall, to the router. So it's a chunk, a distance away from the thing, and I'm in the upper 70% on Wi-Fi connection. So those 2 antennas that's on that is pretty rock solid. And you can see after a month, my battery is like completely full. I do wish it had a percentage out there for the battery so I can just nerd out and know the exact percentage, but it gives a little graph there, so it looks like it's 100%. Now let's go through the app. We got screenshot, boom, it takes a screenshot. It's in the album here. You can access it that way. Intercom system. I can push this and hold it. It actually gives me a little graph of me speaking. And it does have a speaker out there, and you can control the volume stuff in the settings. I'll show you later. It's really loud, and it picks up well. It's a loud intercom system, so it's solid on that end with the mic and the speaker that's on it. Kudos. You can hit record, and now it's starting to record. I can stop the record, and it's right there in my album. There is a micro SD card in the unit that's recording to local, but you do have cloud storage that we'll talk about later. Here's your motion detection settings. You got sensitivity 1 through 10. That's just something you have to play with. That depends on your setup at home, how much traffic there is, if there's cars in the background, but you can adjust the sensitivity there. Alarm interval. I didn't really mess with the alarm, but I'm assuming that you can turn an alarm on. If it detects motion, it'll go off for like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes. So if it's in a private area, you can turn an alarm on, which is great. Day or night detection, you can set that up for that. Your alert plan, you can add a time period that it can, so you can customize that specific to a time period in there, which is great. And then there's the button to turn on and off the actual motion detection. Here is the PTZ, which is a way to move it around. You can actually have a tap left, right, up, down kind of thing here, or you can just do it with your finger. You can run it across the screen like so. I'm doing that on the screen with my finger, or you can use that below. So we'll back out of that. Let's see here with the album, we've already gone to that. That's where your stuff is. Now your history, this is where all your alerts and stuff will live. You can go to calendar. Let's go back to the 10th. And then here it's going to show me on the 10th motion detected. You can zoom in and out of this where it's recording chunks, which you can control the length of how long a motion detection is going to record for. And you can just sort of scan through there, and we see how quick that is. Now I am on the same network as the camera, but whenever you're not on the network and you have a good internet connection, it takes probably 3 times as long to do this kind of buffering stuff. So it's not bad. And then there you can go directly to alerts, where you can see a schedule of the alerts that you've had. Screenshot, boom, you can screenshot an event there. You can record an event there, so that's available in your album. That's how you save these recordings. So it's pretty cool. And then here's a search symbol, or a zoom symbol, excuse me. I don't know why I said search, but a zoom, so you can toggle that way, or you can pinch to zoom in the timeline as well. And that works. So solid stuff going on there. It's got cloud, which you can activate that if you want to, but like I said, you've got local storage on board the camera via the micro SD card. The cloud storage, I think, is like $5 or $7 a month. Don't quote me, but I'll leave a link to the camera that should cover that in the link for the specs and stuff. There's your bit rate if you want to know what the camera bit rate is at 1080p. Wi-Fi signal strength, battery coverage. Up in the top right is the settings. You can name it. I just named it backyard. You can receive alert notifications. So if you're doing something and you're tired, or if someone's doing something in the backyard and you're tired of notifications, you can just turn that off real quick. You can share your device with someone else. Device information, installation guide. So you do have a guide on hand, which is great. Your basic functions. There's your speaker volume. You can adjust that. I have it 100% because we want to really holler at the kids when they're at the playground. But there's how you have your clock formatted out. It's either 12-hour, or you can turn it to 24-hour like military time. Screen flip, night vision mode, automatic. Turn that on, off, or automatic. power management. I guess if you're iffy on the sun or something like that, or you have to recharge it. Now I did recharge the camera separate from the solar panel on its own before installation. So I recommend just doing that. Motion detection, we got to that earlier. Recording management. There's your intervals there, 10, 20 seconds, 30 seconds on motion. That shows you the capacity on my SD card, and you can format it through there. Cloud storage service. It doesn't say the price there. Device version. You will get firmware notifications. I did not have to do a firmware update at the time. Then you can delete the device. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And if you have multiple cameras, they'll be here. Here's some messages going on here. Customer service messaging center is on this thing, which is cool. Alarm messages. So it's a quick shot of the alarm messages, which is very cool as well. This is a very good app. I like this equally as much as the Ring app, if not better. It's simple. It's got what you need. It's got multiple ways to get into certain things when you're on certain screens that you want to, especially your notifications and stuff. So it's great. Let's see what this is up here. This was a camera shot. Let me turn this off. But apparently, I guess, because I don't have multiple devices, but apparently you can have multiple cameras here in a live feed scenario, so you can just kind of see them all in a different kind of way, which is, I guess, neat. Top left brings us back to what we see when we first get into the app. So that's kind of it. Now, one of the things I wanted to compare this to, whenever I was just checking on the quality, just to see if it was better than one of the past ones I reviewed that I still have up as a solar panel, antennas, far in the backyard camera. And that is the Solium Plus camera that I reviewed. So I kind of compared those, looking at the night vision of each, the daytime vision, the screenshots and stuff. And the Conico completely destroyed it on all sides. It was great. The footage from the Conico, it looks good during the day, looks fine at night. If you see lights coming off the house in the nighttime footage there, it's the IR lights from my existing camera system. All the lights are completely off, but it does a good job when I pan left or right down the fence row of casting out enough IR light so it can see, so I don't have any issues. I mean, I don't have issues with how much night vision distance it has. It has pretty good distance to fill my backyard, which is a plus. I tested it out during rain. You're kind of limited on visibility, just how the wind's blowing against the camera, but it still functions completely fine afterwards. I checked the up and down recording height or the camera height, so there is a guard up above the camera, and when you go up, you can go up beyond that. So you're kind of blocked on distance up and down, but you're not at all obligated to any position anywhere else. So you can point straight down, you can do 360 degrees, or 180 degrees one way, 180 the other way, which covers 360 degrees. So that's fantastic. If you have this mounted in a position, or you just want to look down below it or around you or something like that, you can do that. One cool thing I kind of wished it had was like a scanning mode or something, or if it detected motion to take over and follow that motion. That would be really cool if they could add that somehow. I don't know if they could, but that would be pretty cool to do that. There's not much I don't like about it for the price. I can't be, mega picky, but if they come out with a second version, they wanted to improve this one, I would say to have motion settings to where it might follow motion until that motion goes away or times out, and then goes back to its set point, or maybe have, I don't know, every hour or something it scans around, or something you could set like that where it would scan on its own. But those are kind of the two things I would only have as an addition. And the $149 that it's at right now is a pretty good steal. The app is fluid enough, modern looking enough, and easy enough to use. Shoot, go for it. Put multiple cameras on the system. I think it'd be just fine. So if you wanted to deck your house out in these camera systems and use this, I think you could. It's odd to say that because it's not a super name brand system, or one that I haven't heard of before. But now I'm going to tell everybody, hey, this is the one I recommend that you get. So check it out. Link is down in the YouTube description. Here's the Conico solar powered 15,000 milliamp hour battery, 360 degree range. Push attention. Still hear me? Here's Conico camera. Still hear me way over here. Still hear me? Still hear me way over here? Like that? Still hear me? Still Make sure to explode on that subscribe button and ding that bell so you get notified on the next product review that I have. And a good one too. This one was a good one. So this is a definite plus. I really like it. So I'm going to recommend this to anybody who's looking for this type of camera. See ya.